Well, since the last vlog, quite a bit's happened, and I may not have filmed it all, but I've got a caravan. And as you have seen, I have got the moving van. Because yesterday, after 50 plus years of living here, my nan has officially moved out. And I wasn't expecting the caravan for like another week. I was meant to be sleeping in my tent, but the caravan's arrived early, so I'm sleeping a little bit more comfortably and maybe not alone for tonight. But I would like to introduce you to my new home. I know a few weeks ago I promised that I would give you a tour of my house, but I couldn't do it at the time as my nan was living here, and I like to keep things personal and private stuff off camera, and I don't want to be filming my nan. It's not really fair on my nan just to shove a camera in her face. But now that she is officially moved out, this is my first day staying here. I'm going to show you around. Obviously, you guys would have seen me build the conservatory if you've been here for a while. So at the moment, we have a rather budget-friendly conservatory that is out here. It obviously needs some patchwork and stuff because we have some leak issues in here. But for the time being, this will probably serve as our lounge, and in there will be my dining table. But for the time being, my sofa and stuff will go in this room just because I'm going to be working on the rest of the house. Plans down the line will include a proper extension. So all of this will come down and I'll build like a proper extension. And this building here will become my utility room. This will be my lounge and this will be the dining room. So you'll be able to come out of the kitchen there. You'll have a utility room through there, which is currently, rotting away. So it needs a lot of work, but this will become the dining room. Now, obviously, take everything you see with a bit of a pinch of salt. There is a lot of work to be done here, and no, I'm not made of money. And whilst I do live in the woods, I don't have any trees that grow cash either. So yeah, we're going to be taking things slow and doing things as we go. But the future, this will hopefully become our lounge. Now, I'm sorry for the flashing, but I need to use a torch so you can properly see things. But if we walk through the door here, you walk into a reasonably sized kitchen. It's not the biggest kitchen in the world, but I probably am going to rip all of this out and I'm going to move the hob from there to the middle there and wrap the counter around here and then open this door again. So this will become the kitchen counter. Sink will remain here with the window. And this fire, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about it just yet, as it would make a lot of sense to get rid of the fire and put a steel across there, not through the chimney stack. You can keep the chimney stack in the building, but put a steel there to support it, and then open it out into the dining room and give us a much bigger kitchen. But that is a lot of work and planning permission and so on. So for the time being, you don't really need a huge kitchen. We don't need a huge kitchen. We're not a huge family, so this should suit for the time being. Obviously, I've got to rip it all out and rebuild it. I'm hoping to build it myself from scratch. I'm thinking of like going with ply and then painting it and then getting some like fascias and like door coverings and stuff that are actually like nice wood. But it's going to be a long process, but this is going to be the kitchen. We have a pantry through here, which again will be completely ripped out, renovated, and become like a proper food pantry. At the moment, the water mains comes through here, so I need to do a bit of rejigging because a lot of the plumb work comes through here. And then as you walk further into the house, everything from this point onwards will most likely just be living quarters. So the long-term plan is for this room to essentially become mine and Jess's bedroom. Again, with the fire, as nice as it is to have a fire, because I want a log burner in the lounge, there isn't a great need or purpose to keep an actual fire in the house, and having a fire at ground level in this room, which will become our bedroom, doesn't make a great deal of sense. So this will probably get blocked up down the line. I can always uncover it later on if we change our minds, but this will be our bedroom. And then depending on whether this wall is structural or not, we may cut through the wall to give us access to the downstairs bathroom. Now, as you saw from when I was at the front of the house, this is actually the front door, which has been boarded up for now. Any paintings you see, by the way, my nan has painted all of these. She was very, very good at painting, self-taught completely. She used to just literally just paint things. She's so good at it. I think she kept quite a lot of them. However, due to the location of the house, it's highly unlikely that we'll really use the front door ever, but it would be nice to be able to walk out to the front garden. So this might get reinstated depending on what happens with this wall and the bedroom and the bathroom, which needs a lot of work. If we punch through the wall and come straight through to like a shower room, like an ensuite essentially, then there's no real point in unblocking the front door. But if it stays as is, then we'll have a downstairs toilet / shower room, which will be not like nice to get to rather than going upstairs, because the plan is upstairs is to put a new bathroom, which I'll show you. But for the time being, this is all going to be ripped out like for like. As this stuff has seen better days, it is very old. I'm pretty sure this thing is called a crapper. No, it's a Dudley. It's a Dudley cistern. I swear something in here is called a crapper. But maybe that's how the word crap came about, from like a brand that did cisterns that were called crappers. But I'm pretty sure Jess told me at some point that it was called a crapper. I could be completely wrong, I don't know. But yeah, this needs to all be good. Obviously, the whole house needs to be gutted. It's a lot of work, as I said before. But if I take you upstairs, I'll show you where hopefully I'll be able to fit the new bathroom. One of my biggest pet peeves is this step here. Which one is it? That one. Can you hear that? I am most definitely going to be ripping up the staircase and fixing it, because that I can't live with that. For as long as I remember as a child, it's always made that noise. So yeah, I want to try and fix that. And we were considering actually after today, literally walk around today when it was first empty, because this is only like, it's like a sheet of MDF or something. If we take all of this out and have like a freestanding staircase with like maybe like a glass banister, or I don't know. I've never had stairs in my own home. So, but if we keep this open and open this all up, it won't feel so like small in here. At the moment, it feels quite tight. So if we open all this up, it could be really nice. However, there's a lot of work to be done, as I will probably say a lot this video. But on the landing, we have got 3 rooms. The first one to the left is going to be Benjamin's room. Wooden flooring, which is nice. I need to get to all of the floorboards and check on the wiring and the plumbing in this house. But all the carpet needs to come up, get to the floorboards, access all of that stuff. But this room, nice double-sized bedroom for Benjamin. And then the room straight over, for the time being, in here, will be our bedroom. And later on down the line, this will become Lily's room. But as I mentioned earlier, because I'm not made of cash, the goal is to basically come into this house, live in a caravan for the time being, but come into this house, renovate 2 bedrooms for the kids. And whilst Lily's still young and she sleeps in the same room as us, we will sleep in Lily's room. And then hopefully this room that I'm going to show you in a second becomes the bathroom. And then upstairs is done. So we have living quarters comfortably, completely renovated. And then we can work our way out of the house. It might take many years, but it's just one of those things. I feel like a lot of people, generally speaking, renovate for a lot of their lives. And that's just the position that we're in. Like, unfortunately, I don't have the money just to throw at the house. So that's just how it's got to be. But another lovely painting by my nan. I'm so glad I've managed to keep a lot of these, because she's so good at what she does. I couldn't even imagine attempting to do that. But my nan, she painted all of that. How good is that? But yeah, as I mentioned, this is going to become the master bathroom. It is directly above the other bathroom. So from a plumbing perspective, it should be really easy just to pull the pipes up, because it runs from that cupboard there through the floor, and it's here. Probably gonna need to do like a soil stack. And I'm also gonna have to evaluate how structurally sound the joists are, because if it can't support a bath with water with a person in it, then I can't put the bathroom up here. But in a perfect world, we'd have a master bathroom upstairs and then the 2 kids' bedrooms, one that we'll live in for the time being. And then eventually we can go downstairs, convert the bedroom downstairs, or the lounge currently, into a bedroom. We have a bedroom downstairs, kids are upstairs, they've got their own bathroom, we'll have an ensuite, and it's perfect. That is in an ideal world. But as you can see, there are layers and layers and layers of carpet that I need to get through before I can get to the floorboards and then truly assess how structural things are. Because this wall, it's like chipboard. It's like 3mm chipboard. I don't know if it's like lathes. I need to basically cut a hole in it and see what this is made out of. But it's super hollow. There's nothing there. So I'm not too sure. One thing I might do is get a builder to come out just to assess structurally how this house is put together, because it is my first time living in a house with stairs. So I've been in a bungalow or a flat prior to this, so some of my experience or knowledge is not quite there. So having someone come out and have a look for me would be super handy. That stair, I cannot wait to fix that. But yeah, welcome to my new house. There is so much work to do, and it took a long time to decide to take this on for the foreseeable future. Fortunately, I've been, gone through every assurance to make sure that me and Jess and the kids are here forever. Like, I don't ever have to move out. I can retire here. I live here for the foreseeable future. So I'm in no rush to do anything. Obviously, I need to get things sorted, and I need to gut the house so we can actually move into it, because for the longest time, we probably will be living in a caravan. And if we can bump up to a static, that would probably be ideal, just because of how much work needs to be done on the house. But unfortunately, because of circumstances of moving like 4 times in the last 2 years, whether that's being messed around by landlords or fire safety and being in Airbnbs for months, or taking a risk to move over to the bungalow and then moving back over here because of circumstances, I have essentially bankrupted myself to do all of those things. So I don't have a pocket of cash to throw at this house, because I've just invested so much money into the prior years, as well as having a child and getting engaged, all of the other boring financial things that you don't need to listen to me ramble on about. But yeah, I hope you guys can kind of see the potential of this house, because everyone that's come here has been like, wow, like, you are so lucky. And I am very aware of how lucky I am to inherit this place. But it's just a lot of work. And I think when you come here and you see it, you're like, oh shit, you've got a lot to do. And you don't quite realize it. And I don't even think, from my perspective, it's sunk in yet. It's just, I'm just taking one step at a time, and that is how I am getting by at the moment. I think I've got so much going on that it's kind of hard for me to sit and assess the fact that, like, oh, there is just a lot to do, that I'm just like, we'll just do 1 bedroom, then we'll do another bedroom, and then we'll do the bathroom. Well, we'll do the bathroom first, but you know what I'm saying? Like, do a little by little, slowly chip away at it, and turn it into our home. But I do have a vision for this place, and eventually the extension comes from here all the way out to this building here. Flat roof with Velux windows, like for skylights and stuff. Boot room here, utility room there, lounge with a log burner, and then in there will be the dining room. Once I look back at this vlog, I think I will be so grateful for the opportunity presented to me, and I don't think a day will go by where I regret this decision. Like, I will be forever grateful that not only do I get to keep the house that has had so many children and children's children go through this house and live here and experience the bliss that is living literally on a hill in the middle of the woods alone. Like, you just can't. I said this last time. These are things that you can't buy, but you can buy them. It's just very expensive. Yeah, I honestly, I loved growing up here, and the fact that I get to continue on the family home, so we don't lose it to some random person, it means a lot to me. And I know it's so weird on so many levels for so many people. Like, it's still bizarre to me. I feel like I'd be super interested to know, to look back on this video and be like, at what point did it become my home? Because for such a long time, well, this has always been Nan's house. Like, my nan and granddad, like, it's always been their house. And even now, despite the fact that I've already had people like coming over to your house, to me it still feels like Nan's house, because it is. Like, nothing's changed obviously yet. So it's going to take a long time. It's been a stressful couple of days of moving and trying to get my nan settled. Bless her. She unfortunately slipped, like on move day. She slipped on this mat that was ironically put there to stop people from slipping, but she was walking out to literally go to the new house, and she slipped and fell over and really hurt her leg. So, which absolutely sucks. I feel so bad for her. Like, she's had such an ordeal. Like, moving is stressful enough as it is without, you know, everything else. So I've checked in with her. She seems to be all right now, settled in, and I think it'll take a bit of adjustment for her as well as for me. Like, it's for both of us. I think it's a lot to take on. Like, moving house is a big thing. But yeah, exciting times ahead. I think before I wrap up this video, I do want to give you a little tour of the garden, so it's all in one video. And then I'll introduce you to who's keeping me company tonight. But before we get there, this is my front garden. It goes from that fence line you can see there all the way beyond the trees. I can't actually physically walk there to show you, so you can just see from here and the front porch that this is the front garden. Apparently, there is a swimming pool buried there. Be super fun to expose that and put a swimming pool back in just for a summer. I feel like that would be a really fun little project to see that uncovered. I don't know how deep it's buried, but there is a swimming pool in the front garden. And then you come through the gate, and then the back garden just goes on forever. And frankly, this is more daunting than anything else. My nan has put so many years into putting in beautiful flowers and plants and trees and stuff that I didn't even realize were in the garden. That trying to keep on top of all of this is just a task in itself, let alone renovating a house. But this is essentially our back garden, which is why we want our lounge here. I know it probably seems a little odd to move it from the front of the house to the back, but imagine like a full-on insulated extension here with log burner, with bifolding doors that opens up into the back garden, and you have all of this, and it's like an outside-inside living space. Dreamy. Like, I love being outdoors, and being able to have that influence on the house is really brings the outside in. That feels like such a what's the TV show? There's a TV show where it's like, I don't even know. I'm losing my mind. My mind is all over the place. It's literally a day after my nan's moved, and I've just taken on the house. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but I think I need a day off where I just sit and let it all sink in, because it really hasn't just yet. But we've got a nice cooking apple tree right in the middle of the garden. And if you have seen some of my prior vlogs, you'll know that I have recently been cutting back some of the garden to create a path for a trench that is going to go all the way up there. But this garden goes back there to where the light is actually hitting. That is the back of the garden, so it's quite a way away. Genuinely, this garden is massive, and I struggle to keep on top of the bungalow, so God knows how I'm going to do it here. I really have no idea. Hopefully Jess loves becoming a gardener, because she's going to need to. We've got a couple of outbuildings. So we have the outbuilding that's obviously going to become the utility room. Then we have like this, which is essentially a coal shed. And then this brick building here, which is, again, another shed, but it was the dog kennel. However, temporarily, as it is kind of watertight, I'm storing all of my wood that I hoard in here. So keeping wood in here for now. And then if you follow the path back up, we've still got the garden to our right. Got a plum tree here, as well as a cherry tree. I think that might be a cherry tree, but there's another one beyond. The plan is actually to turn this into a bit of an allotment. There's like a triangle garden space here, which latches onto where the garage is. We're going to turn this into an allotment. And then obviously you've seen a lot of the lean-to, but in the lean-to, I'll be creating a wall to divide my workshop from what will essentially become the greenhouse. So in here, this entire space, which is just filled with stuff at the moment, will become my workshop. I'm going to put a wall from there all the way across with a door on it. And then beyond there, this will become a greenhouse. I need to rip all this down and rebuild it all, because it's rotted and it's got leaks and holes and all sorts of stuff. And then allotment, greenhouse. But if I take a little bit of a tour to where I cut down, you'll have a better idea of how big the garden is. So there, all the way down there is where I stood at the gate earlier, showing you how far the garden goes. But it comes through here, and all of this is also ours. So It's currently covered in nettles, so it needs to be sprayed off and completely cleared out. I want to turn this space into like an adventure play area with an off-grid log cabin. Unless we get a static, which we probably still will use for the foreseeable future. But a long-term project, I think it'd be a really good like video series idea to make a completely off-grid like log cabin where guests can come and stay. So when we have people up, because the house is relatively small, we don't have spare rooms where guests can stay. But if I build a log cabin here and try and make it completely off-grid, I feel like it'd be a really neat place for, you know, guests to come and stay. But that goes all the way to where you can see that fence line there. It's kind of hard for me to see the phone to see where I'm pointing, but it is, the fence line's back there somewhere. And then this is our back garden where we have a pear tree right there. I think there's actually a pear growing. Yeah, there's a pear. We have another apple tree, which I think is different. I don't necessarily think this is another cooking apple tree, but we've got another apple tree here. We've got a cherry tree here. That's a plum tree right in front of me. That's a cherry tree. This really big one is a cherry tree as well. And I believe this one is like, I call this the wiggly tree, but it's meant to be a Japanese tree of some sort. I don't know what it's technically called. It's the wiggly tree in the garden. Jess really wants to turn this whole area into like a fairy woodland walk area. So when the kids are kids growing up, they can come walk through and it's like a fairy garden. So I think it'd be really lovely. There used to be a lot of paths through here, but it's all overgrown and it needs to be weeded and stuff. So when I rip all of this out and we reinstate some paths and fix the floor, because it is all over the place, there's like bags and all sorts of stuff. There's literally a tree right there, which I didn't even notice before, that's fallen down, so I need to move that. But open this all back up so the kids can walk through and get to their adventure play area. And then obviously you've seen the garage there. This is where the caravan is living and where I and Jess and Benjamin and Lilia will spend a large percentage of our time living for several months actually. I didn't quite realize, I had in my head, I swear I remembered it being slightly bigger than it is. But it's going to be quite cozy in there. We've got to stick an awning in so we've got extra space, and we might potentially either utilize the fact that I've renovated the garage and or use the tent box as well, just so there is more room. So like if Benjamin wants his own little space, he can have one. But hopefully I can get on with the house renovation. Any of my friends watching this and you want to come down and help, more than happy, come down anytime you like, because I need it. Believe me, there's a lot for me to do on my own. So if you want to come and give me a hand, really appreciate that. But yeah, this is home base for the time being at the top. I need to obviously get water, electric and so on hooked up, because for the time being I've got an extension that goes all the way down to the house to power this thing. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the house tour. I'm sorry that this is all over the place, as again my mind is just so boggled. I've just been very much go, and I'm sure anyone that has been around me recently knows that. I have been told so many times that I just need to slow down and kind of gather myself, but I don't know, I kind of get into a gear where I'm constantly going and I find it really difficult to stop, especially when it's like for other people, which all of this to me, even though it is my home, it's always for other people. It's for the kids, it's for Jess, and it's for my family. So yeah, I definitely need a holiday though. Anyway, I want to have me over for a couple of weeks so I can just stop and do nothing. Unlikely, but at least for tonight, I'm not doing a great deal. I was meant to be grafting, and my envision is that my first day here, I was going to get so much done. I was going to dig a trench all the way down to the house so I could bring power up to the garage, because for future purposes, I will have electric gates here, as well as kind of future-proofing it in terms of like electrical vehicles, because we think that is the way it's going. So I need to put wiring all the way up here, as well as internet, because the internet is actually better at this end of the garden than it is down at the house. And then on top of that, I need water, because there's no taps at this end either. So the plan was to crack on with all of those things, and I had some help, but it's just freeloading. He's just come down here. He's driven 2.5 hours to freeload. I was told this man was a heavy grafter. Vikings are built different, but no. Look at this. He's come down. He's lounging, having a beer.
I'm working still.
He is actually, to be fair.
Working.
This guy is working really hard, and he did cook me an absolutely banging meal, which we tried to steal the recipe for, but he doesn't even really know. He just threw things together, and it tasted amazing. So, and I'm very picky with food, so yeah. I'm joined by Mr. Upton.
It's a pleasure.
QR code on screen here. I don't ever plug anybody, but you should go watch this guy. He's amazing at what he does, and he genuinely has a passion for gardening. As much as he doesn't think he does, he definitely does. He's like going around touching leaves. No, genuinely. Go. Make sure you scan this QR code, go over to Upton's channel, go hit subscribe, go watch his content. He is vlogging all of his family adventures, and he's kind of taken the mantle on, really, because I used to go on adventures, but now I'm just renovating houses for a living. I don't know. It is what it is. But he has got a magnificent camper set up for going all over the place, and he is going on some truly wicked road trips. So make sure you hit subscribe to keep up to date with what he and his family are doing, and maybe you'll see me in his vlogs soon. I mean, if you're already subscribed to him, you've probably been spoilt by this already, because he got the exclusive. He saw the house before you guys did. So yeah, you're missing out if you're not subscribed to him. But look at this dedication to the game. It is currently, what time is it right now? It is, I can't even see it, my eye, I'm blind. It is 7:55, and he's editing his vlog. What is this daily vlogging game about?
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
AM.
Yeah.
AM. He's a morning vlogger. I've no idea who the is awake at 6 AM to watch this guy vlog.
You are?
Oh, that's true, actually. I get up at 4. I get up at 4 o'clock, so I can't really speak.
I am.
But yeah, look at this guy. He's grafting, editing his own vlog. He's come to visit an editor, and he's doing it himself.
Yeah, well, you know.
Daily grind.
Daily grind.
Daily vlogs. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Even the weekends.
My life is just too boring. It's just ironic, really. I said this the other day. I was like, my life is too boring to daily vlog. Yeah, I have a 250-acre farm where we're building a campsite, and it has, you know, actual farming that I need to help out with. I've just taken on this massive project, and you've seen it.
Yes, yeah, it's insane. It really is insane. I mean, have they seen it at this point?
Yeah. I've just given the full tour. Yeah, but
he's got his work cut out.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be in there in 3 months.
To
be fair, you might get one room. There's a couple of rooms.
Heavily underestimates me and my ability
my
ability to get on with shit. I don't mess around. That's the downside, really, though, because I do a lot, but I don't film it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this needs to be done, and then I forget to film stuff, and I just crack on with it. So that's why, like, with the bungalow, you didn't see a lot of the renovation, because I was so occupied with just getting the job done.
Yeah. It is a lot of work to film it, as well as it sort of takes it back from you, because you're trying to set up your camera and you're doing your clips and stuff, and it takes
people don't really appreciate how much longer it takes to do things. Like, I think my mum, when we do the campsite stuff, gets a little fed up with me, because I'm like, wait, before you do something, let me just get the tripod, set the camera up, put the right angle on, and hit record before you just like cut a piece of wood. Everything takes so much longer, but I'm here forever, so I've got the time to do it. You know what I've just realised? This is actually my first collab.
Way.
I've never actually filmed a vlog with another YouTuber. Obviously, Tom's featured in vlogs, because I kind of force him to be in the vlog sometimes. But this is the first time I'm in his vlog and he's in my vlog.
You know what I love? You called me a YouTuber.
Well, yeah. He's a bigger YouTuber than I am. But maybe one day, with all the projects that we've got going on here, and the help from you guys, we can get there. My goal for this year was to hit 30k. I don't think we're going to do it. Like, we're already in, July now? Yeah, I think 30k is a tall order. We've got a good 3,000-4,000 people to go before we reach that. But if there's anyone you know who might enjoy watching a renovation project, gardening, landscaping, building an adventure play area, a log cabin in the woods, then tell them, make sure they hit subscribe. But on that note, I am going to disappear, because I've rambled your ears off for like a good 30 minutes or so now. And I hope you enjoyed the tour of the house. As I say, from this point onwards, there is going to be a lot of progress being made. It's primarily a lot of garden work first, because I need to bring, as I said, mains up to this end of the property, because right now, running extension leads like 35 meters down to the house is just really not optimal. It's not a good thing. So as I record this tomorrow, I've got National Grid coming out. I've got a digger coming out. I've got sand being dropped up. There's so much going on. So make sure you tune in every single Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. That's when I post. And I will continue to do so as long as I am able. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. If you've copped the merch, again, links on screen. Go grab yourself some. It directly supports me and my family and allows me to do things like this. So if you've grabbed some, I really do appreciate it. And a big shout out to the guys over on Patreon who go that extra mile to support me as well. Anyways, it's been Orion. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mr. Upton, which you will probably see in the next vlog as well, as I give him a little tour of our land and see what he thinks of our very, very dry campsite. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace, peace, much love. Bye-bye.